former Alabama running back Josh Jacobs. Nhat V. Meyer, Bay Area News Group. Jon Gruden has made it clear he's striving to be like the Chiefs, on offense at least, and this draft offers a chance to inch closer to their new age offensive blueprint that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes laid out last season. The Raiders won't be like the Chiefs this season regardless of who they draft, but closing the monumental gap between the two teams is a reasonable first step. Yes, the Raiders need more help on defense than offense, but with 4 picks among the first 35, general manager Meyer and Gruden can afford to bolster their offense early. But should those reinforcements come at skill positions, say, in the form of a future feature running back or a slot receiver to complement Antonio Brown and Tyrell Williams, or a tight end to replace Jared Cook? As it stands, the Raiders know. One running back is 26-year-old Isaiah Crowell. They also resigned Jalen Richard and second-year back Chris Warren figures to factor in after missing his entire rookie season due to injury. Marshawn Lynch, who turns 33 on Monday, has yet to publicly indicate whether he plans to return or retire. Crowell ran for 685 yards and 6 touchdowns with the Jets last season. Richard tied for the team lead with 68 receptions, and Warren showed promise in leading the NFL in preseason rushing yards. The Raiders' revamped wide receivers room features Brown, Williams, Marcel Aitman, J.J. Nelson, Dwayne Harris, Ryan Grant, Saeed Blacknall, Rashard Davis, De'Mornay Pearson-El and Keon Hatcher. There's a steep drop-off after Brown and Williams, and adding a sturdy No. 3 option after cutting Jordy Nelson and Seth Roberts would draw some attention away from Brown and even Williams. At tight end, the Raiders currently have Darren Waller, Derek Carrier, Lee Smith and Paul Butler. Waller briefly flashed after signing with the Raiders in Week 13 last season, and Gruden has said the 26-year-old will get his chance to shine this season. Cook, who signed with the Saints in free agency, led the Raiders in receiving yards in each of the last 2 seasons and was the Raiders' lone Pro Bowler last season after setting career highs in catches, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Given the Raiders' situation at each of those 3 positions, here are 5 offensive skill players they might consider with picks 24, 27 or 35. Josh Jacobs, RB, Alabama. The No. 1 running back in the draft and the only one appearing in the first round of some mock drafts, Jacobs could fill the hole if Lynch chooses to retire. Then again, the Raiders like Crowell, who's only 26 and has a career yards per carry average of 4.3. He averaged 4.8 yards per rush last season with the Jets, and the Raiders' improved offensive line should lead to similar output. Jacobs ran for 640 yards on 5.3 yards per carry and scored 14 touchdowns last season, 11 rushing, 3 receiving, while catching 20 passes for 247 yards. Marquise Brown, WR, Oklahoma. Antonio has already campaigned for his cousin to join him on the Raiders. Hollywood. Brown is still rehabbing from Lisfranc surgery, the same foot procedure that sidelined Donald Penn from the end of the 2017 season to the middle of 2018 training camp, but he said at the Combine he'll be good to go for rookie minicamp. Brown caught 75 passes for 1,318 yards and 10 touchdowns at Oklahoma last season, and the speed that some said would have been the best at the Combine had he participated would complement his cousin and Williams nicely alongside Derek Carr. A.J. Brown, WR, Ole Miss. Brown's college teammate, D.K. Metcalf, is getting all the pre-draft hype because of his eye-popping combined numbers and physical physique, but Brown, who granted, played 5 more games than Metcalf in 2018, led Ole Miss with 85 catches, 59 more than Metcalf, 1,320 receiving yards, 751 more than Metcalf, and 6 touchdown catches, 1 more than Metcalf. Brown ran a 4.49-second 40-yard dash at the Combine, and he too would be a solid number 3 that might only be a reasonable pick at No. 35. N'Keal Harry, WR, Arizona State. Like A.J. Brown, Harry would probably be a reach in the first round. If he falls to 35 and the Raiders pluck him, though, they'd get a big, physical receiver who surprised at the combine by running a 4.53 40 given his size, 6'2", 228 pounds. In his final 2 years at Arizona State, Harry caught 155 passes for 2,230 yards and 17 touchdowns under Herm Edwards. Noah Fant, Iowa. Fant is the latter of two Iowa tight ends expected to go fairly early, with T.J. Hawkinson being the first. Even sharing a field with Hawkinson at Iowa, Fant caught 69 passes for 1,013 yards and 18 touchdowns the last 2 seasons. He'd fill the void left by Cook's departure, and the Raiders would likely need to take him 24th, if he even makes it that far. Get Morning Report and other email newsletters. Sign up. Let's block ads. Why?